What's up YouTube, I'm JP and today we're going to be looking at the RG351V. So this is a kind of retro emulation handheld device. Now I've recently bought this one as an upgrade to my RG350 and we'll do some comparisons between the two. So first of all we're going to do an unboxing, look at the device, the button layout, how it feels, the comfort, etc. And then we'll start looking at some emulation. We'll try and get a couple of games on each platform, so NES, SNES, Mega Drive, PlayStation, etc. So, without further delay, let's dive in. So, what is the Anbernic RG351V? Well, essentially it's a handheld device. It's used to emulate consoles and other handhelds and even computers to play the games that were made on those devices. So it's a great way if you want to play your classics, but you don't want to buy an expensive NES and then the games, some of the games can be really expensive. So this is a good way to play the older games at an affordable price and also handheld. So, let's take a look. So here is the box for the Anbernic RG351. Anbernic devices always come in this plain white box with kind of the outline design of the console itself. So let's take a look. So there's absolutely nothing at the bottom. We've got the Anbernic logo here. Then on this side we can see the contents of the box. You get the console, the charging cable, the user manual. You can see here that I've gone for the black transparent. I was thinking about the wood grain one, and this is what that looks like. But I do think that the black transparent, which is the same as my RG350, just looks a lot better. On this side we can see the back of the console, kind of showing you where the micro SD cards go in, sort of the charging ports. This has got two USB-C ports on it, but we'll look at that in a bit later. The R1 and R2 buttons, L2 and L1. And then it shows you the front of the device, sort of the D-pad, single analog joystick, etc. Then if we look around here, we can see that it's got built-in Wi-Fi. The CPU is the ROC chip RK3326. It's quad-core, 1.5 gigahertz. The GPU is the Mali G31 MP2. It's got DDR3L, 1 gigabyte, 64 gigabyte memory, 3.5 inch, 640 by 480 IPS display, and that is actually a 4:3, which is perfect aspect ratio for old retro gaming handhelds. Then the battery is a 3900 milliamp that lasts about 6 hours, and it supports a TF card, which is a micro SD card, expandable to 256 gigabyte. That is a lot of storage. 256 gigabyte is more than enough in one of these handheld devices. So let's open the box and see what we get. So it's packaged quite well, nothing fantastic, nothing fancy, but it has got this like protective foam in there just to keep it sort of safe in transit. Then we have the device itself. So let's try and get that out. We'll have a look at that in a second. Let's have a look at what else is in the box. So underneath here, so we have the USB-C charging cable, which is just normal USB to USB-C, handy. There's no power brick with this, but I'm sure by now most of us have all got power bricks lying around. This is nice. We have a glass screen protector with the wipes to put it on, so I will be putting that on a little bit later on. Now this is what you don't normally get. So this micro SD card has loads of games pre-installed, and it's great to get you started, and 64 gig is not a bad size card to actually come with the device. I will be using a 128 gig card once this video has gone out, I will upgrade to the 128 gig and put some custom firmware on it. That's coming soon, because the firmware that comes on these devices is good and it will get you by. But if you want more customization, there is a lot more out there that you can benefit from. And I will do a video on putting the custom firmware on this device next. So that's the 64 gig card that I got with mine. I'll get this out, and then what we got here, we just got some instructions, kind of a user manual, but it's all pretty straightforward. There's not much that can go wrong with these devices. So let's get all this out of the way. And here's the device itself. Let's get it out of this packaging. So there we go. The RG351V. Now straight away, it reminds me of the Game Boy, the original Game Boy. The form factor is very much Game Boy. The only difference really is when you look at the side, because where the screen is, it kind of comes down then comes out. Now that's great for these trigger buttons here. It just makes it a lot easier when you're holding the device. And if we bring it up to here, when you're holding the device, it's easier to get to these buttons. So let's have a look around the device. On the top, absolutely nothing. On this side, we have a volume up and down. So when you just keep pushing the button like this, just short presses, it turns the volume up and down. If you long press on this button, it will turn the brightness up on the screen, and then it will turn the brightness down on the screen respectively. On this side, we have a power button and we have a reset button. And then on the side here, we can see two micro SD card slots. Now, the one that is already in the device is, turn it around, a 16 gig card. Now, this card will have the firmware on it, basically your operating system. And that card you can take out and flash. Now, I really like the fact that they have both cards externally accessible on this device. I have the RG350, and it only had the one card slot at the bottom, and then you'd have to take all the screws out to take the back off the device to get to the software micro SD card, which is internal. So I really like this. I can switch between custom firmwares, and it's just as easy as taking the micro SD card out. So on the front of the device, we have that lovely 3.5-inch IPS display. And then we have the D-pad, which feels quite nice. I think it's a little bit better quality than the previous RG350. I'd have to compare them side by side to tell the difference, but it does feel really nice. It's not too clicky, it's not too smushy. It feels quite nice. These buttons again, they feel nice. See, the Anbernic don't make cheap devices. They're not, when I say cheap, I don't mean the price, I mean cheap and nasty devices. They're always good quality, and it's got a nice weight to it, and you don't buy these products and then get them and think, oh God, this is cheap Chinese rubbish, because they're not. They are good quality devices. Same with the buttons here, and the analog stick doesn't have much travel, but again, it does feel nice, and it has got the button to click in. So you have got the, what do you call it, the L3 maybe? And then there's a function button here. So all in all, this device is quite nice. And already, I've got a fingerprint on the screen. There we go, that's better. So, let's get the micro SD card in the device, as this has got all the games on. So we'll have a quick look basically what it is out of the box. So push the power button down. There we go, it's turning on. It's got a vibration motor in there, not haptic feedback, but it's got a vibrating motor in there for some of your newer games like PlayStation stuff that support that. So this has got EMU elect already built in. And I do like the interface. So as you're scrolling left and right, you can see all the different consoles. Now all these games are pre-installed. So I haven't downloaded anything, I haven't touched anything. This is how I got it from Amazon. PC Engine, Nintendo Entertainment System, Game Boy, Super Nintendo. N64, that's a bit ambitious for this device. I don't think N64 emulation on this is the best. When I do my own SD card with all my games on it, I won't put any Nintendo 64 on there. Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Genesis, Game Gear, Mega Drive for us in the UK. Dreamcast, again, this device it's not going to do Dreamcast flawlessly. So I think again I will take the Dreamcast games off. Neo Geo Pocket, PlayStation, it does PlayStation really well. My RG350 done PlayStation perfectly. So this will be another good one to test out on. Not sure on PSP. Is this device powerful enough for PSP? We'll have to see. And then all the games, favourites. So let's dive into something easy for this to emulate. Let's have a look at some Mega Drive. So I'll push the A button and now it'll start going through all the box art. So we've got quite a few different games on here. Some Mortal Kombat. So obviously they've not got all the box art for all the games here. Let's have a look at one of my favourites, Road Rash. Electronic Arts. The speaker, it's a single speaker unit, but it actually sounds quite good. Let's get into some gameplay here. God, it's been such a long time since I played this game. Whoa. Right, so let's have a look at some Game Boy. Considering this is what this device looks like, I think Game Boy's quite suited here. So the screen looks more like the Game Boy. Okay. So the screen here, it looks more like the Game Boy Pocket, I think it was, that had the black and white screen rather than the green screen. So I think the most challenging sort of emulator and device that this can do flawlessly would be the PlayStation 1. So let's have a look to see what PlayStation 1 games they've got. Bomberman World, Capcom Bees, Connolly Wars. Let's find Driver 2. Never really played this game, but let's give it a go. So it looks like the games are in individual folders. I'll have to sort that out so the box art comes up before you click on the folder. Because as you see there, you'd click the game you wanted on the folder, then it would show you the cover art. Right, so let's have a look at Driver 2. We'll just take a ride. Just to kind of get an idea of what the performance is like. Right. So the RG351V is a great handheld device. It doesn't have the power to play some of the higher end, as we call the retro devices, like the N64, PSP, and the Dreamcast, possibly Sega Saturn as well. But if you want to play older games than that, then this is a great handheld device. The screen is nice and clear, bright, and the colours are vibrant. The buttons feel great, and it's just it's an all-round package. Anbernic are really good at making devices. So I'm going to end the video there. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to the channel, and don't forget we're still running the big giveaway. As soon as we get 3,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away an Xbox Series S. Then, when we reach 4,000 subscribers, a PlayStation 5 Digital Edition. And then when we reach 5,000 subscribers, I will be giving away a PlayStation 5 Disc Edition. So, I'm JP, you've been watching Alien Gaming, and I'll catch you in the next one.